Hey everybody, it's me. Welcome back to the drama. I am in front of a hotel in Austin, Texas, ready to play on Dev's tour, and the van says that it is 95 degrees outside. So naturally, I decided to stay in here and record the video like a man. Listen guys, I'm scared to admit it to you, but there is a new breed of guy that has been festering in the depths of TikTok boys, and one of the products of that festering would be our friend here, George Morcos. Yes, a pretty popular creator on the app, and I don't know why, but I'm blaming today's style of TikToks on Montaigne. He wasn't the one that came up with it, but I'm gonna blame him anyways. I hope that's okay.
Oh, you want to know the most annoying thing when you're texting somebody for the first time?
It is Montaigne's fault that any of this exists. Could they board? It's just this gross style of algorithm farming for likes where guys will just scroll Tumblr shower thoughts for the most bottom of the barrel takes on just completely hypothetical social situations that usually have to do with a relationship with some sort of girl. These guys are always masters when it comes to relationship advice, which is why they are seemingly never actually in relationships. So today I'm going to show you what George Morcos' crime really is. I'm going to tell you all the drama you need to know. Let me show you what kind of TikTok style I'm talking about, because every time I see a video like this, it makes me want to flip into lava.
I love it when a couple breaks up and the guy says, it's her loss. My brother, her friends bullied her for being with you.
Every video that guys like this post are about hypothetical situations that George Morcos never saw happen. How did you know that her friends bullied this guy behind his back? Where are you drawing the data from? I broke my arm listening to this TikTok. I should be suing you, George Morcos, and I know just who to call. Today's sponsor of the video, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. What if I went up to George and I yelled at him and I said, George, I've got a lawyer. I'm gonna sue you, George. You know, you think that would be intimidating, right? Well, it technically shouldn't be. Most Americans are intimidated by the idea of hiring a lawyer, but it's important to have a person you can trust fighting for your rights as an American GD citizen. In 2020, I know this is insane, but there were over 600 car crashes every single hour. And the saddest part about these horrible instances is that most people don't actually know what kind of rights they are entitled to in this country. The idea of finding a lawyer obviously seems way too daunting a task on top of everything else when it comes to getting in an accident. I'm hoping that I don't get into one now. It's a joke. I'm not driving. But with Morgan & Morgan, you're taken care of. You can actually submit a claim for an injury from your home in 8 clicks or less. I know you've heard the name for a while, but Morgan & Morgan's not some kind of old-time injury law firm. It's a 21st century one. And they have modernized the injury law process, making it easier than ever to figure out what you are entitled to and how you need to communicate those things to someone who is an expert at what issues you're having. So if you're injured in an accident and you don't know where to start, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. You can submit a claim in 8 clicks or less without even having to leave your couch. For more information, you can go to forthepeople.com or dial #law on your phone. That is #529 from your cell phone. Thank you to Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the drama.
If her name ends in the letter A, but it sounds like my brother, wife her up right now.
We have to talk about the elephant in the room. Why are you saying brother? I'm sorry. I know it sounds racially aggressive even coming out of my mouth, but it sounds even worse somehow coming out of George Morcos'. Morcosis. Sounds like some kind of disease.
My brother.
One time saying the B word was enough. If this is a trend with the rest of his videos, I will rip my heart out through my chest with my bare hand in Minecraft.
Yo, if she gives it up on the first date, super red flag. My brother, run.
Where do they make these guys? Where do they create them? Because I want to go to that factory and I want to piss on the assembly line so it has to shut down for 3 months. George Morcos, what's the format we're going with all of a sudden? This looks like a POV where I'm like sitting at a coffee shop, a stranger is sat down in front of me, and he keeps interrupting me, trying to give me dating advice that he just read on the internet. Enough of it, George Morcos. Zip it. It's silent reading time. Go into the corner and finish goddamn James and the Giant Peach. If this is somehow like a trademark of the George Marcos page, which I think we're quickly realizing, I think I should die. I think that someone should kill me and bring me back to Montaigne's page. Those were the good old days when things were simpler. I don't like this breed of guy. Montaigne's page is cringe. Yes, it's bad. It continues to be awful the more and more he doubles down and tries to become self-aware of the whole thing. It's cringe, but it's not George Marcos brother cringe. I can't even say it. It makes me feel repulsed coming out of the mouth of mine.
Oh, you want to know one of the dumbest mistakes that hot people make? I'll tell you. A hot person will want to post a thirst trap to show off or whatever, and then they'll complain, I'm getting all this unwarranted attention.
Okay, no. Montaigne is still pretty bad. We can go back.
My brother, run.
George Marcos, what are you writing down on that napkin? What is on there? Is that your 4-year plan for your new business? It's not really working for me.
If she's a Cancer, a Gemini, a Leo, a Scorpio, or an Aquarius, she can flirt with you and have absolutely zero interest.
So yeah, if her birthday is on the weekend and she talks to you, you've actually got to call an audible, hire a hitman, get her killed, because you can't talk to any girls who have birthdays on a Saturday. I F with astrology. I F with the whole thing. I love when people put together the little charts of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and they're all like these little dots and they intersect in all these different ways. I love that stuff, guys.
Taylor has Mars in Scorpio. He has Venus in Scorpio. It's giving soulmate. I love it.
I'm not saying that I'm not into astrology. I F with it heavy. I F with the crystals heavy. But the TikTok is not the way to do it. To be a guy and to be like, oh, if her birthday falls in one of these months, actually, she's a piece of shit. And that's a red flag. You gotta go. And I know a lot of people do the same thing, but it's a different vibe when it's coming out of someone's mouth, like George here. George Marcos, that is.
She can flirt with you and have absolutely zero interest. So my brother, run.
No. Seriously, don't. I can't. I think I'm gonna chop my head off in a guillotine. But wait, I'm actually not done with it yet. Because there's drama. Yeah, that's right. I found the drama. Of course I did. How could I not? I'm simply too good. So I went back and I watched the very first TikTok of George's that I watched, and I decided to just Google the exact words he said. They were basic enough where I was like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm not even gonna type it into TikTok. Just a straight up Google search. I love it when a guy says her loss, her friends bullied her. That's all I really typed in. And 2 seconds later, I'm watching a TikTok from a guy named Edward. The guy with 8.1 million TikTok followers, as opposed to George Marcos's measly 2 million TikTok followers. George posted his TikTok about her loss, whatever, like 2 days ago. But let's see what Edward actually posted back in April.
I love when a couple breaks up and the guy says, it's her loss. My brother, her friends bullied her for being with you.
My brother. This TikTok has 14.7 million views. Yours has 124K. What are we doing here? Is that how much we don't care on TikTok now? It's not even like a small account. You have 2 million followers. You can just have 2 million followers and you can take a TikTok that was already bad originally.
My brother.
Somehow the tagline wasn't even George's. Don't get me wrong here. Edward's original TikTok is a federal crime. I cannot believe that he would get 14 million views on a TikTok that an AI could fart out onto a screen. It does not surprise me that literally anything these guys do is copied from someone else who copied it off of a text post from some 14-year-old like 10 years ago. It's like if you were trying to take the Myers-Briggs test and you copied off of a toddler because you think you need to ace it. Now, I don't know if things can get much worse, but I actually also discovered that George just also copies from himself, too.
If her name ends in the letter A and it sounds like my brother, do yourself a favor and wife her up right now.
I'm glad that he decided to shoot the same exact TikTok in front of a pool. That is exactly what was missing from this absolute nothing burger of a situation, a big bowl of nothing, some hypothetical where you are talking to a girl whose name ends in the last syllable of her name ends in that's what we're gonna go with. It's a cool discovery, man. I wonder where you did the research to figure that one out. And even though he copied this from the George Morkos of the past, the George Morkos of the past also copied this from another guy, who I'm sure also copied it from someone.
If her name ends with the letter A and it sounds like she's probably sexy as hell, a little toxic and crazy, but she's a keeper.
Is it original? It's always a trick question. It's always a trick question. And if you think that George's TikTok account cannot get any sadder, why don't we think again? It's sad. It is sad. George makes TikToks where he seemingly approaches random women on the street and he puts his arm around them and says if they're like his ex or his girlfriend or like his wife or his daughter. Just run the clip really quick and I have something to say.
Guys, this is my girlfriend, and that's my ex. Guys, so this is my other girlfriend.
I'm not your. Oh my god, I follow you from TikTok, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Guys, so this is my girlfriend, and that's our daughter. We had her like 15 years ago.
Even though I wouldn't be surprised if George was the kind of guy who would approach seriously like random strangers on the street and put his arm around them, it is scary how obvious he has made it that he is walking up to random girls asking him if they can be in his TikTok if he gives them a $5 bill, and then shoots his little video where he pretends to like rizz up some girl who's walking in the middle of a city. He literally plants a fake fan in one of his videos. He plants a girl who recognizes him. Who is recognizing your face, George Morkos? You look like you're on an American Eagle advertisement. Who's mistaking you for anybody? Who's recognizing you? Who's the fan? You might be George Morkos with 2 million followers, but you're George Morkos with 2 million TikTok followers. 2 million TikTok followers off of algorithm bait and mass posting on stuff that you didn't even come up with. There's no George Morkos stands roaming the street. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to find one.
Oh my god, I follow you from TikTok, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Don't let this illusion fool you. I know it's hard to believe that this wouldn't be a completely authentic transaction between him and another woman, but he surprises me more every day. I'm not kidding. I literally watched like the 5 most recent TikToks of George Morkos and I put all of this together. I didn't realize how bad it was until I started the video, but he is a bad offender of the worst kind of influencers online. He's not even like a shitty guy who's like a bad person. That would be interesting. He is literally a nothing burger. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Guys like George exist to confirm thoughts you might have in a relationship in your life. Some random hypothetical that could potentially make you feel better about yourself, or something that you can send to a friend so you can shit on some relationship you've had in the past. Or maybe it makes you more confident about a girl in your life and then you guys end up married happily ever after and it's all thanks to George Morkos. But I don't really think that's it. At least Montaigne has like a thing, you know? He does the thing with the cutting board and the cutting board. He's like a very specific kind of guy, like a little bit of a softer type who's very awful. But I can appreciate that, okay? I can. So if I got anything out of today's lesson this Friday, it would be that we should appreciate the Montaignes out there. Okay, now you can come in. Sorry, Chelsea. I'm just on my last couple sentences. These guys make me want to squirm. Like a worm. Gotta finish the video while I drive. Anyways, guys, send me more guys that I should squirm to. You can email me if you want to send me any squirmers. Anyways, this week was a doozy. Tour's going great. Sold out show in Austin, Texas tonight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be electric. Yeah, it's gonna be electric. Please go grab your antiseptics.
Yes.
And that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, for sponsoring this video. And you guys know what I always say to end the videos. Papa needs his coffee. Okay, that's it.
Hey sir, I like a Tagaro.
Τι είπες ρε μαλάκα τώρα, τσιγάρο. Είναι τσιγάρο. Αλλά αυτό είναι πουράκι, εντάξει. Learn how to say it right.